One Zambia, one nation. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for the news on the Zanis News channel. To present it, I'm Michelle Rubinda. The headlines. Vice President calls for reorganization of voter reticulation system countrywide. Government payroll in 2.6 billion kwacha irregularities. Only 3 out of the 400 mining firms operational in Lufanyama. And government bemoans deep-rooted cultural norms among girls. Now the details. Vice President Mtalena Lumango has directed Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, Mike Mposha, to reorganize his ministry and give solutions to the challenges currently being faced. The Vice President is disappointed that most parts of Kitwe, such as Ipusukilo, have a poor sewer system. Join Frank Chingambu with the rest of the story.
Zambia has a vision of attaining 100% provision of water and sanitation services to the citizens by 2030. This vision, however, is coupled with numerous challenges which Vice President Mtalena Lumango wants addressed as soon as possible. To this effect, the Vice President has since directed Minister of Water and Sanitation Services, Mike Mposha, to quickly address these challenges.
And in having water as life, we must understand, therefore, that sewer is death. It comes from us, it can kill us if we don't handle that very well. So your ministry, let's say other things, but I think that your ministry must really be re-looked at, Honorable, and it's for you to make a case. When you get on the ground, Honorable Ministers, then I think you start changing your mind. What should we do? Because we are allowing death to flow into people's homes, affecting the same life that we want to save.
While appreciating operational and technical challenges which Nkana water and sanitation companies faced within Kitwe today, Mrs. Nalmango has expressed disappointment that many communities in the country are still grappling with issues of sanitation.
I am extremely disappointed here to have gone into Ipusukilo in particular, and yet I've been told there are other areas. But I've been in Ipusukilo, in Kwacha constituency. I found the same situation. Affluent. Flowing all over. We must be ashamed as leaders to have left the situation like this.
Nkana Water needs not less than 618 million United States dollars to work on its water and sewer infrastructure to improve water supply and sanitation services.
In terms of sanitation, Your Honor, we have hot areas, hot spots, which I must say this is a disaster in Your Honor, and we look forward to working with your unit, the disaster management, to address this crisis.
Illegal connections, pollution of its water sources, and vandalism are also part of the challenges the water utility firm is facing.
On service provision, and at times we get illegal connections and vandalism of our infrastructure.
The Vice President is on the Copperbelt province on a 4-day working visit to check on developmental projects. Frank Chingambu reporting from Kitwe, Zanis News.
We move to Luapula province, where Care for Nature Zambia, a non-governmental organization, is working towards promoting environmental conservation, child rights, and sustainable development in Zambia. The organization is currently implementing a project to build capacity in children in order for them to participate in climate change programs in Mansa district. Details are in the following report.
Care for Nature Zambia, through partnership from Save the Children with support from CEDA, has kicked off a project called Children's Agency in Sanfia District in Luapula Province. The project will enhance the capacity of children in Sanfia to participate in climate change campaign, negotiations, and reporting. During a Children's Agency project kick-off meeting held at Chita Lodge in Sanfia, Care for Nature Zambia Executive Director explains the objectives of the project.
In Sanfia District, to introduce the Children's Agency, which is aimed at building the capacity of children. As an organization, we recognize that climate change is one of the biggest global challenges which is affecting people's livelihoods. And at the same time, it is one single problem which is threatening us realizing the rights of the children.
And then lastly, we talk about child-based governance, where we want to see how children can participate in democratic spaces. And let the executive director here indicated issues to do with the inclusion of children, like for example, parents, teachers, learners, association.
The district administration office and the local authority were also in attendance.
You know, our Republican president is talking about economic transformation. We've been so much dependent on nature and the environment where we are. So what is it that we should do to nature and to the children? Because today we are talking about ourselves as the beneficiaries. What about the children? What is it that we are saving for them?
So we are saying we need to conserve this nature. If we have to add value, if we have to advance, if we have to be a district that is going to live up to its mandate that it has been given, and also the recognition that we have received as a tourism capital for the northern circuit, we really need to conserve our nature.
Betsheba Katebe reporting for Zanis News in Sanfia District in Luapula Province.
The Office of the Auditor General has reviewed accounting irregularities amounting to 2.6 billion kwacha for the financial years ending December 31st, 2017 to December 31st, 2021. The irregularities consist of paid retirees still drawing salaries, unaccounted for officers, payroll misplacements, irregular payment of salaries, suspected fraudulent diversion of salaries, wasteful expenditure, and double payment of salaries. Auditor General Dixie Chembe has disclosed that during the period under review, 7,331 officers on the separatist payroll were paid allowances in amounts totaling to 250,162,212 kwacha, which they were not entitled to as they were not in active employment.
583 officers from 4 institutions were paid amounts totaling to 52,716,813 despite not rendering any service due to delayed conclusion of disciplinary cases for periods ranging from 6 months to 14 years. Included in this amount of 52 million were amounts totaling to 26,136,076 that were paid to 243 officers who were on suspension due to being in possession of fake school certificates. Further, an amount of 2,774,100 was paid to 6 officers who were on holding position for periods ranging from 5 months to 30 months without rendering any service.
As Public Accounts Committee, we want to ensure that recommendations which are done by the committee are implemented effectively. You've heard from the Auditor General that you've seen what is happening, and we ensure that we provide the necessary foresight and that there's accountability which brings in good governance and also to ensure that we have service delivery to the people of Zambia.
Over 400,000 kwacha has been disbursed to 25 beneficiaries out of the 101 applications under the 2022 Constituency Development Funds, CDF, in Chinsali district in Mchinga province. Speaking during the handover of the checks to the beneficiaries, the provincial minister, Henry Skazwe, says the funds being paid mark the first set from the first quarter funding. Miriam Kumwenda reports.
One by one, they collected their checks. These are representatives of the 25 cooperatives out of the 101 cooperatives that applied for the empowerment grants under the 2022 Constituency Development Funds, CDF, in Chinsali district of Mchinga province. Speaking during the handover of the CDF empowerment grants to the first set of beneficiaries, Mchinga Province Minister Henry Sikazwe, who spoke through the Assistant Secretary Chuele Kondomone, said the decentralized CDF is a necessary tool for alleviating poverty at grassroots level.
The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development approved a total of 101 applications. Out of the 101 applications, 25 beneficiaries were initially funded from the available first quarter funding, which was disbursed by the ministry. The remaining beneficiaries will be funded as soon as the remaining quarter funds are released.
And the local authority in the area says the disbursement of the CDF empowerment grants is a significant progress made.
We are undertaking this with a view of promoting economic empowerment for the youth, women and community of Chinsali.
The area member of parliament, Kalaro Mkosa, was at hand to witness the disbursement.
We will be the first people to receive the money. We want you to be the examples.
Miriam Kumwenda reporting for Zanis in Chinsali, Mchinga province.
Meanwhile, in Southern Province, government has disbursed over 480,000 kwacha constituency development funds, CDF empowerment grants to women, youths, and the community groups in Namwala district. Speaking at the handover ceremony, Namwala Member of Parliament, Herbert Mapani, says the 26 beneficiary clubs are expected to enhance their livelihoods. More in the following report.
Government has continued to disperse the first allocation of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, in Namwala district. A total of 26 clubs, divided as 19 women clubs, 2 youth clubs, and 5 community groups have so far benefited from 487,000 allocation of the empowerment funds.
Empowerment grants being awarded today is to our women, youth, and community groups is very exciting because they will improve the lives of the citizens of Namwala.
Namwala Council Chairperson wants beneficiaries to use the funds appropriately.
The beneficiaries use the money wisely. Let your community realize the benefits as indicated in your business plan.
However, the beneficiaries have held government for the gesture.
For me, I can just say thank you for what the government has done for us.
For Zanis, I'm reporting.
In Northern Province, Nsama Town Council has procured a tractor worth 630,000 kwacha using the Equalization Fund. The tractor, which has been handed over to Nsumbu community, is meant to enhance garbage collection in the area. Nsama Town Council Secretary Peter Sati says the tractor will ease refuse management in the community. Helen Walia brought us this report.
And garbage collection has been a challenge in many parts of the country. The indiscriminate illegal dumping and littering of garbage by members of the public has been a major contributing factor to poor waste management. To enhance garbage collection in Nsama district, the council has procured a tractor at a total cost of 630,000 kwacha. Nsama Town Council Secretary Peter Sati gives the details.
Got a project running as a council, which we budgeted for under this year, 20% capital of the equalization fund. According to what we planned for this year, we have planned for the procurement of a vehicle, the procurement of a tractor, rehabilitation of a staff house.
Mr. Sati explains that the council has since handed over the tractor to Nsumbu community.
So we took advantage of the appreciation of the dollar. Yeah, so we bought the tractor very quickly, which costed us 630,000. This tractor is already moved to Nsumbu. We've realized Nsumbu is growing and there are a lot of activities. As a result, we're having challenges in terms of refuse collections. So we thought taking the tractor to Nsumbu will ease the refuse management systems.
And in Samba Town Council Public Relations Officer Victoria Kasanga has cautioned residents in Nsumbu to desist from dumping garbage in undesignated areas.
With the handing over of the tractor, we don't expect to see a situation in Nsumbu where refuse is disposed anyhow. We have a refuse bay that side. We expect all the market owners, shop owners to have bins so that they can put their refuse in there and dispose it off in the refuse bin. It's going to make it easy for the council to collect garbage.
The procurement of the tractor is expected to enhance garbage collection in Nsumbu and surrounding areas. Helen Bwalia for Zanis in Insama District, Northern Province.
Zanis News continues. USAID through PEPFAR has procured specialized equipment to facilitate easy screening of GBV cases for 9 GBV one-stop centers across the country. Nchimunya Nalumba has more in the following report.
Escalating cases of gender-based violence have remained a concern to many. The Zambia Center for Communication Program, Kwatu, implementing a Stop GBV USAID-funded program through PEPFAR, has in the past few months recorded over 15,000 cases of GBV from only 31 GBV one-stop centers across the country.
We have supported the Ministry of Health that they have provided the quality post-GBV care services to over 15,000 gender-based violence survivors.
To enhance management of these GBV cases, the organization has partnered with Ministry of Health, and specialized equipment to screen GBV cases has been procured for 9 GBV one-stop centers countrywide, with capacity building to selected health workers handling GBV cases provided.
Through the funding of USAID project, they bought this very expensive equipment, about 26 of them now in these facilities. Some were procured in the previous USAID funded project, and about 9 have been procured by this implementing project, that is Zambia Center for Communications Program.
But since we have a number of people trained, it means we'll be easily picking up these gender-based violence survivors. We'll pick them up easily and to shorten the waiting period.
This training has empowered us with information, the skill and the knowledge how to examine.
However, certain practices continue to hinder the fight against GBV.
And intimate partner violence, they are usually withdrawn by the survivors because they don't want their partners to be jailed.
Nchimunya Nalumba, Zanis, Inchoma, Southern Province.
Kanchibia District Commissioner Crispin Chilekwa is elated that construction of Mpepo Mini Hospital is progressing well. Mr. Chilekwa notes that the mini hospital, whose construction started early this year, has now reached 85% complete. The DC says once complete, the hospital will cater for a number of people who are currently accessing healthcare services at Chalabesa General Hospital, which is located 70 kilometers away from Mpepo Chiefdom. Still in health news, Seed Global Health has donated maternity equipment to Matero General Hospital and Lusaka College of Nursing and Midwifery to improve quality health service delivery at the two institutions. Seed Global Health Country Director Basimi Backland says the donated tools will help reduce maternal mortality at the health centers. Sande Bwalia has the rest of the story.
Proper maternal equipment and expertise is critical in reducing maternal mortality rates and other complications. It is against this background that Seed Global Health has handed over maternity equipment to Material Level 1 Hospital and Lusaka College of Nursing and Midwifery to enhance their operations. Dr. Basim Bikland is Seed Global Health Country Director.
Training midwives in life-saving procedures is critical to decreasing the number of maternal deaths in Zambia. And this cannot be done without investing time and prioritizing precious resources. So far this year, 435 maternal deaths have very tragically occurred in Zambia, just in 2022. While our partnership supports many aspects of midwifery, emergency obstetric skills, in the skills lab, as well as in the clinical settings.
And Provincial Health Director Consiti Mwale is excited about the Seed Global Health gesture in promoting healthcare delivery service in the country.
The equipment will improve the quality of service delivery and also the quality of training as our midwifery students with our qualified staff will be able to use this equipment as they provide quality and respectful maternal child health services at this hospital.
Meanwhile, Material Level 1 Senior Medical Superintendent Dr. Victor Liuma described the donated equipment as a game changer in training medical students and nurses in general.
Again, that there are new and efficient procedures which have been developed so that we can see change in the way we are training our nurses and midwife students. But you can't have real change unless you have partners like Seed Global Health, where they are here to help us with the equipment so that we can improve in the way we are training our staff.
And learn, enhance their skills and provide best practices. Students and practicing midwives need proper tools to offer safe and dignified care to all women. Reporting for Zanis in Lusaka, I am Sande Waria.
From Central Province, the body of a 50-year-old woman who went missing 5 days ago in Kapirimposhi district has been found in Mushimbili Dam. Council Fire Brigade officers have since retrieved the body of the woman identified as Monica Nanyenza of Malubani village in Chief Nkole's area, who was last seen on September 1, 2022. Council Public Relations Officer Chris Mulalika says the deceased was discovered yesterday at about 06 hours by villagers who later reported the matter to police. The body has been deposited at Kapirimposhi District Hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem, while police has launched investigation in the matter. Office of the President Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabinka says ending early marriages needs future efforts that focus on addressing the role of ethnicity in determining marriage patterns and aligning the fear around premarital sex. Ms. Kabika says it is sad that young girls in chiefdoms are taught marriage rituals at a tender age, hence engaging in premarital sex, which is a catalyst for early marriages. She said this when she paid a courtesy call on Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa in Mongo District. And Provincial Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa says the region is deep-rooted in cultural norms and beliefs, especially among the girls. Mr. Akapelwa says there is need to balance gender issues that target both girls and boys in order to achieve the objective of gender equality.
And that is what is encouraging early child marriages and early pregnancies, because they teach those children how to become wives. They prepare them to become wives too early. At that stage, they should be mostly focusing on teaching them personal hygiene concerning menstrual periods and things like that. That's what they need to focus on. And just how to take care of yourself as a child, a girl child, and also abstaining, because we don't hear issues of encouraging children to abstain. We don't hear about that nowadays. So that is the age where children are supposed to be encouraged to abstain. But you find that they're being prepared on how to become wives. Yes. So how will a child even going to finish school?
According to the demographic surveys and the economic surveys and so on, the Western province is the poorest of the provinces. And then there are cultural issues. So put the two things together. When I was young, when there was a Siamboka, a girl was coming out as a Malanjo, as mature. There were suitors, men already who were preparing to marry that girl. And the girl was probably 14, 15 at that time. Nothing much has changed in the villages. You see? So you're fighting an uphill battle. Now, with poverty and lack of employment opportunities, it's either the girl goes to try to make a living in towns, increasing the rate of rural-urban migration, or she stays here. And if she is in the village and so on, and the father is seeing cattle around, it's very difficult to influence that father not to marry off the daughter to get some animals. That's all. It's really an issue of not having that many opportunities. In Western Province, there are very few factories, if any. Maybe a few milling companies and abattoirs here in Mongo. No major commercial farms, maybe a few in the Kaoma.
As we end the news, a recap of stories that made headlines. Vice President calls for reorganization of voter reticulation system countrywide. Government payroll in 2.6 billion kwacha irregularities. Only 3 out of the 400 mining firms operational in Lufanyama. And government bemoans deep-rooted cultural norms among girls. That's all we could package for you this evening. On behalf of the entire production team, this has been Michelo Winda. Continue watching Zanis channel. Thank you for watching.